first half is going to be a kind of a presentation about women's suffrage, and the second half will be Shar and me just doing a few songs, and then we'll open up for discussion and reflections. So much of what we're about to read to you today, right now, is taken from the liner notes, which were written by Erwin Silber, former editor of Sing Out magazine, from a 1958 Folkways record called Songs of the Suffragettes. And we've adapted and excerpted those notes for the purpose of this presentation.
The right of the citizens of these United States to vote shall not be denied nor abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. With those few simple words, American women gained the right to vote. Today, when we are still fighting for the right of everyone to vote and to have their vote counted, we would do well to remember how the issue of women's suffrage racked this nation from coast to coast. Riots, demonstrations, outraged sermons, indignant editorials, and frenzied emotional outbursts. Sound familiar? From all sides, highlight the history of the long uphill fight for women's electoral rights, which was capped by triumph with the adoption of the 19th Amendment on August 26, 1920. The struggle for women's suffrage in America is actually older than our country. The first recorded demand for votes for women was made by Margaret Brent in Maryland in 1647. For the next 200 years, however, women's suffrage remained a minor issue as America fought the battle for national independence and later the Civil War.
The next important step came forward with the emergence of the great anti-slavery agitation of the 1830s. The natural ideological affinity of the two causes was heightened by the active and leading role played by many women in the abolitionist movement. Outstanding male figures in the battle against slavery, like William Lloyd Garrison and Frederick Douglass, were also ardent champions of women's rights. Another famous abolitionist and suffragist was Sojourner Truth. As you may know, Sojourner Truth was born into slavery in the mid-Hudson Valley of New York State, where I live now. She escaped in 1826, even though she knew that New York was going to abolish slavery in 1827. She traveled around the country, giving speeches and singing songs about abolition and women's rights. And this is one of the songs attributed to her. I am pleading for my people to have their rights restored, for they have long been toiling and yet have no reward. They are forced the crops to culture, but not for them they yield, although but late and early they labor in the field. While I bear upon my body the scars of many a gash, I'm pleading for my people who groan beneath the lash. I'm pleading for the mothers who gaze in wild despair upon the hated auction block and see their children there. But while your kindest sympathies to foreign lands do roam, I'd ask you to remember your own oppressed at home. I plead with you to sympathize with sighs and groans and scars, and note how base the tyranny beneath the stripes and stars.
The next song is about a great abolitionist and suffragist, who some of you may have heard of. Her name was Harriet Tubman.
Oh.
Has anybody seen the new film?
Well,
Great movie.
yes. I'm so happy about that.
And Harriet was born on the eastern shore of Maryland as an enslaved woman, and somehow she managed to escape and reach the free state of Pennsylvania. And eventually she went back many times, over 19 times, and freed over 300 men, women, and children. So there was a very large price on her head, and she was never captured. And she became a war hero in the Civil War, and she was an ardent suffragist to the day she died. And this is her story, a song written by Walter Robinson in 1977 called Harriet Tubman. Please join me out for the chorus. One night I dreamed I was in slavery. While 1850 was the time. Sorrow was the police sign. Nothing around to ease my mind. Out of the night appeared a woman leading a distant building band. First then she cried, pointing her hand, "Make room aboard for this young woman's head. Come on out, I got a lifeline. Come on out to this train of mine. Come on out, I got a lifeline. Come on out to this train of mine." Her name is Harriet Tubman. She drove home on the Underground Railroad. Hundreds of miles we travel onward, gathering souls from town to town, seeking every lost and found, setting those free who once were bound. Somehow my heart was growing weaker. I fell by the wayside, shifting sand. Firmly did this woman stand. She lifted me up, she lifted me up, she lifted me up, and she took my hand back. Come on out, I got a lifeline. Come on out to this train of mine. Come on out, I got a lifeline. Come on out to this train of mine. She said her name was Harriet Tubman, and she drove home on the Underground Railroad. Were these children dressed in red? Must be the ones that Moses led. Who are these children dressed in red? Must be the ones that Moses led. She said her name was Harriet Tubman, and she drove home with the Underground Railroad. Railroad. Railroad.
In 1840, Lucretia Mott and Elizabeth Cady Stanton were among the American delegates to the First World Anti-Slavery Convention in London. The presence of these women caused an uproar in the assembly, and the convention refused to seat them as delegates. Undaunted, the entire American delegation refused to take part and took seats in the gallery for the remainder of the proceedings.
Stirred and agitated by their experiences in London, Elizabeth Cady Stanton resolved and Lucretia Mott resolved that upon returning home, they would initiate the campaign for women's rights on a wider scale than ever before. In 1848, they called the first American Women's Rights Convention in Seneca Falls in upstate New York. By 1852, women's rights groups in many parts of our country were holding conventions. Despite this, the monumental struggle against slavery eclipsed the women's rights movement until after the Civil War. Although there were dissenters, most of the suffragists were abolitionists themselves and understood the necessity of winning the anti-slavery battle first. It is significant that the first suffrage songs of which we have any record do not appear until after 1865. These next words are from Voices of a People's History, edited by the great historian Howard Zinn and Anthony Arnove. Quote, in November 1872, Susan B. Anthony was one of 14 women who defied the law to cast a ballot in the presidential election. Anthony was arrested for, quote, knowingly voting without having a lawful right to vote. And on June 8, 1873, she was found guilty. The next day, when her lawyer appealed the verdict, she addressed the court in response to a question from the judge, Ward Hunt. Pat and Richard will now reenact that dramatic scene with some redactions for time considerations.
Has the prisoner anything to say why the sentence shall not be pronounced?
Yes, Your Honor. I have many things to say, for in your ordered verdict of guilty, you have trampled underfoot every vital principle of our government. My natural rights, my civil rights, my political rights, my judicial rights are all alike ignored. Robbed of the fundamental privilege of citizenship, I am degraded from the status of a citizen to that of a subject. And not only myself individually, but all of my sex are, by your Honor's verdict, doomed to political subjection under this so-called Republican form of government.
The court cannot listen to a rehearsal of arguments the prisoner's counsel has already consumed.
May it please
Nearly
you...
3 hours.
May it please your Honor, I am not arguing the question, but simply stating the reasons why sentence cannot, in justice, be pronounced against me. Your denial of my citizens' right to vote is the denial of my right of consent as one of the governed, the denial of my right of representation as one of the taxed, the denial of my right to a trial by jury of my peers as an offender against law. Therefore, the denial of my sacred rights to life, liberty, property...
The court cannot allow the prisoner to go on.
But your Honor will not deny me this one and only poor privilege of protest against this high-handed outrage upon my citizens' rights. May it please the court to remember that since the day of my arrest last November, this is the first time that either myself or any person of my disfranchised class has been allowed a word of defense before judge or jury.
The prisoner must sit down.
Oh.
The court cannot allow this to go on further.
All of my prosecutors, from the 8th Ward corner grocery politician who entered the complaint, to the United States Marshal, Commissioner, District Attorney, District Judge, Your Honor on the bench, not one is my peer, but each and all are my political sovereigns. And had Your Honor submitted my case to the jury, as was clearly your duty, even then I should have had just cause of protest, for not one of those men was my peer, but native or foreign-born, white or black, rich or poor, educated or ignorant, awake or asleep, sober or drunk, each and every man of them was my political superior, hence in no sense my peer. My counsel, the Honorable Henry R. Selden, who has honored my case so ably, so earnestly, so unanswerably before Your Honor, is my political sovereign. Precisely as no disfranchised person is entitled to sit upon a jury, and no woman is entitled to the franchise, so none but a regularly admitted lawyer is allowed to practice in the courts, and no woman can gain admission to the bar. Hence, jury, judge, counsel must all be of the superior class.
The court must insist. The prisoner has been tried according to established forms of law.
Yes, Your Honor, but by forms of law all made by men, interpreted by men, administered by men, in favor of men, and against women, and hence Your Honor's ordered verdict of guilty against a United States citizen for the exercise of that citizen's right to vote, simply because that citizen was a woman and not a man. But a few short years ago, the same man-made forms of law declared it a crime for you or me or any of us to give a cup of cold water, a crust of bread, or a night's shelter to a panting fugitive as he was tracking his way to Canada. and every man or woman in whose veins coursed a drop of human sympathy violated that wicked law, regardless of consequences, and was justified in doing so. As then, the slaves who got their freedom must take it over or under or through the unjust forms of law. Precisely so, now must women, to get their right to a voice in this government, take it, and I have taken mine, and mean to take it at every possible opportunity. Please excuse the banjo.
As Susan B. Anthony points out, if women could be forced to pay taxes and obey laws, they were certainly entitled to have some say in electing the public officials who decided to impose the tax and pass the laws. The next song is called The Taxation Tyranny.
To tax one who's not represented is tyranny, tell if you can. Why woman should not have the ballot, she's taxed just the same as a man. King George, you remember, denied us the ballot, but sent us the tea. And we, without asking a question, just tumbled it into the sea. Then to justice, let's ever be true. To each citizen render his due. Equal rights and protection forever. To all leave the red, white, and blue. That one man shall not rule another unless by that other's consent is the principle deep underlying the framework of this government. Then this woman is punished for breaking the laws which she cannot gainsay. Let us give her a voice in the making, or ask her no more to obey. Then to justice let's ever be true. To each citizen render his due. Equal rights and protection forever. To all neath the red, white, and blue. In 1890, Wyoming became the first state with universal suffrage. As a result, paeans of praise and tunes of triumph were generously lavished on the silver peaks and long rolling plains of the equality state. Interestingly enough, this song was written by a man, William Hussey Macy, Esquire, and sung by a man, Samuel F. Hosmer, at the annual meeting of the Nantucket, Rhode Island Women's Suffrage Society, according to a suffrage paper of the day. Excuse me. And you may have noticed that just about all these songs are written to familiar tunes. This tune may not be familiar to you, but it was a hymn that was probably familiar to most of the women of the day. From Wyoming's Rocky Valley to the wild New Hampshire hills, from the northern lakes of silver to the sunny Blow the clarion call of freedom, all the listening silence thrills. We have heard the voice of freedom from that far-off western shore. We have heard the echoes calling as our fathers heard before. Let us sing its stirring music, equal rights forevermore. Let us sing its stirring music, equal rights forevermore. We have watched the dawning splendor of a promise in the skies. We have heard his accents tender, lo, ye faithful ones, arise. Who would equal justice render, I will never more despise. Who would equal justice render, I will never more despise.
The next song is one of the more light-hearted suffrage songs with an easy chorus, so please do sing along. It's called "Oh Dear, What Can the Matter Be?"
Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting the vote. Women have husbands, they are protected. Women have sons, by whom they're directed. Women have fathers, they're not neglected. Why are they wanting to vote? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting to vote. Women have homes, there they should labor. Women have children whom they should favor. Women have time to learn of each neighbor. Why are they wanting to vote? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting to vote. Women can dress, they love society. Women have cash with all its variety. Women can pray with sweetest piety. Why are they wanting to vote? Everybody. Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting to vote. Women have reared all the sons of the brave. Women have shared in the burdens they gave. Women have labored your country to save. That's why we're wanting to vote.
Suffragists, who in many cases rightly associated spousal abuse with alcohol abuse, believed that to free women from abusive husbands, all that was needed was to prohibit the manufacture and sale of alcoholic beverages. Thus, this song lauds women for going to the polls to, quote, put down the liquor traffic.
There we go.
If the men should see the women going to the polls to put down the liquor traffic, need it vex their souls. If we're angels as they tell us, can we once suppose that all the men would frown on us when going to the polls? We love our boys, our household joys, we love our girls as well. The law of love is from above, against that we ne'er rebel. No discharge have Christian women from the war with sin. At the polls with Gog and Magog must the fight begin. Since we've Bible marching orders, need it fright our souls, though all the men should frown on us when going to the polls. We love our boys, our household joys, we love our girls as well. The law of love is from above, against that we ne'er rebel. Now I'd like to invite our token male, Maddox, to help me with this next song.
Okay. That means I have to get out of here.
All right, just for a minute. I have a neighbor, one of those not very hard to find, who knows it all without debate and never change their mind. I asked him, what of woman's rights? He said, in terms severe.
My mind on that is all made up. Keep woman in her steer.
I saw a man in tattered garb, forth from the grog shop come. He squandered all his cash on drink and starved his wife at home. I asked him, should not woman vote? He answered with a sneer.
I taught my wife to know her place. Keep woman in her sphere.
I met an earnest, thoughtful man not many days ago, who pondered all deep human law, the honest truth to know. I asked him, what of woman's cause? The answer came sincere.
You know, her rights are just the same as mine. Let woman choose her sphere.
Wow. Very good. Good. You passed the audition.
Yeah.
I was afraid of that.
This next song isn't a This is not a suffrage song, this next one, but it's very well known. Probably many of you know it. And it was written just a few years before women got the vote. The words were written by a man, James Oppenheim, but it recounts eloquently the struggles of working women who fought for decent wages and working conditions, but also, yes, the universal symbol of beauty and luxury, roses. This is the tune of the version we're going to sing was written by Mimi Faria, sister of Joan Baez. So help us out if you know it. As we go marching, marching in the beauty of the day, a million darkened kitchens, 1,000 mil lost gray, are touched with all the radiance that a sudden sun discloses.
singing, bread and roses, bread and roses. As we go marching, marching, we battle tooth for end, for they are in the struggle, and together we shall win. Our lives shall not be sweated from birth until life closes. Hearts starve as well as bodies. Give us bread, but give us roses. As we go marching, marching, unnumbered women dead go crying through our singing their ancient cry for bread. Smart and love and beauty, their drudging spirits new. Yes, it is bread we fight for, but we fight for roses too. As we go marching, marching, we brave the greater days, for the rising of the women means the rising of the race. No more the drudge and idler tend that toil while one reposes, but a sharing of life's glories. Bread and roses, bread and roses, bread and roses. On June 4th, 1919, Congress passed the Women's Suffrage Amendment and sent it to the states for ratification. The amendment became a part of the Constitution on August 26, 1920, and the vision of those first suffragists who gathered together in Seneca Falls in 1848 at last was a reality. The next song is called Giving the Ballot. Give the ballot to the mothers.
We don't have the banner that we
Take it out.
Bring the good old bugle boys and sing another song. Sing it with a spirit that shall start the cause along. Sing it as we ought to sing it, cheerfully and strong. Giving the ballot to the mothers. Hurrah! 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 We bring Jubilee. Hurrah! 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 Home shall be free. So we'll sing the chorus from the mountains to the sea. Giving the ballot to the mothers. Bring the dear old banner, boys, and fling it to the wind. Mother, wife, and daughter, let it shelter and defend. Equal rights, our motto is we're loyal to the end. Giving the ballot to the mothers. Help us out. Hurrah! 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 Let's bring the Jubilee. Hurrah! 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 The homes shall be free. So we'll sing the chorus from the mountains to the sea. Giving the ballot to the mothers. One more time. Hurrah! 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 We
So, in 1998, I was invited to attend the 150th anniversary of the Women's Rights Convention in 1848 up in Seneca Falls, where it all began. And let's just move this over here. I want to block you away. And I was really astounded because I found out the story of how we finally did get the vote. My mother was born in 1913 without the vote, and I never ever knew the story. And I was very elated to learn, but I also was kind of upset that this happened. So I wrote a song about the struggle, which actually the roots of it were in 1840, because in 1840 Elizabeth Cady Stanton was on her honeymoon and was attending the World Anti-Slavery Convention in London, England. And one of the keynote speakers was supposed to be Lucretia Mott, who traveled all the way from her home in Nantucket, Massachusetts, to speak. By the way, last night there was a woman who was a descendant of Lucretia Mott at our concert. I didn't know that.
By marriage, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Her name was Mott, and it was very, very interesting. And she knew a lot. She knew all about Lucretia, and she even knew the song that I collected many years ago about Lucretia. Anyway, Lucretia Mott, when she was a preacher woman, and she was used to being honored as a speaker. She was a preacher in the Quaker community, and she didn't know about, being told to sit down and basically shut up. So she was silenced.
The
there.
Lucretia Mott House is at 34th and Broad across from the zoo.
Oh my goodness! Oh, maybe we could go there. Well, I wish we had time this weekend, but we'll get there. That's wonderful to know. But anyway, long story short, she was so outraged that her and Elizabeth talked about it that weekend, and they made a plan that we're going to keep in touch, and we're going to do something about this outrage, because here we are, abolitionists, and we are actually being treated as if we're, in a way, we're enslaved as well. So they did follow through, and 1848, that first Women's Rights Convention took place, and this is the song that I wrote about it, called the Women's Suffrage Song. Lucretia Mott sailed the sea to speak out against slavery, but a rule of silence shut her down. Her voice cannot be allowed, said the all-male convention crowd. This is a public place, and a woman can't utter a sound. Their hypocrisy, so absurd as they wrap themselves in freedom's words, holding the chains of male domination. With Elizabeth Stanton at her side, Lucretia vowed to turn the tide, and together they planted the seeds of a revolution. Chilly winds and the darkest nights, they held on like geese in flight, for their sister's sake, preparing to fight. In a little town near Seneca Falls, in rural upstate New York, Elizabeth and Lucretia called a meeting. 5 women in a circle, having tea, yearning for equality. A Women's Rights Convention they decided they would be needing. 1848, in the heat of July, women and girls came from far and wide, daring to confront the state of subjugation. Elizabeth Stanton had taken the floor. For the right to vote she did implore, and the words she spoke would echo for generations. The chilly winds and the darkest nights, they held on like geese in flight, for their sister's sake, getting ready to fight. Brave leaders emerged to advance the cause. Truth gave Alice Paul hunger in prison to amend the Constitution. After 72 years of struggle and pain, with the 19th Amendment we overcame. In August 1920 we marched in jubilation. You can cheer, women! Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! All these years later, we've made many gains, but the patriarchy still remains in a constant state of war with all creation. Rising from the seas, our foremothers sowed. Millions of women are coming to know that the fate of Mother Earth depends on our mobilization. The chilly winds and the darkest nights will hold on like peace and fight for Mother Earth. Oh, we've got to fight. The chilly winds and the darkest nights will hold on like peace and fight for all our sake. We gotta fight. We gotta fight. We gotta fight. We gotta fight.
This is a song by a contemporary singer-songwriter by the name of Ruth Pelham. She now lives in,
Yes.
Hello, Ruth
You know
Pelham.
Ruthie. What?
She lives now in Albany, New York, but she grew up in Brooklyn,
Yes.
and it's called I Am a Woman.
All right.
I am a woman here on planet Earth. I have the breath of life in me, a gift given at birth. No one, nobody, no powers that be can ever, ever, ever take this gift away from me. I am a woman here on planet Earth. I have a song to sing in me, a song sung bird to bird. No one, nobody, no powers that be can ever, ever, ever take my song away from me. I am a woman here on planet Earth. Flesh, bones, and blood is me before and after birth. No one, nobody, no powers that be can ever, ever, ever take me away from me. I am a woman here on planet Earth. I have the will to live in me. I learned that at my birth. No one, nobody, no powers that be can ever, ever, ever take my will away from me. I am a woman here
capo time. All right, so you wanna say a little bit about this?
Well, you will know this song, but Sharleen and I each wrote a verse. It was a song that Pete Seeger was very fond of, and I'm sure he won't mind that we added a couple of verses for him. I just realized I gave away my copy last night, but I think I know it by heart.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, I have an extra copy, well, not extra, but I don't need it, so.
Well, I should at least remember the verse that I wrote and the verse that Woody wrote that we're all gonna sing together. And you'll all know the chorus. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Women are leaders, women are voters. We serve in Congress and on the SCOTUS. Someday a woman will be our POTUS. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Rise up, women. It's time to heal. Mother Earth needs a new Green Deal. Mothers, daughters, sisters and brothers, free. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Oh, this land was made for you and me.
We're gonna talk a little bit more about Pete and Woody a little later.
Oh, yeah. But we'll have an intermission, and there's plenty more food, and also we have some CDs. Each of us has some CDs.
And I
At that
finally
table.
recorded the women's suffrage song,
Yeah.
which you know, that my friend Mary's here. And I want to just say, Ted, bless you for hosting
Yes, thank
us
you so
tonight.
much.
We're so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Thanks
Everyone,
I'll feed the hat, okay? Feed
Oh,
the hat.
feed the hat.
And we also, I think we have some literature back there that
Yes.
you can feel free to take. You can
Oh,
get
by
our
the way,
cards if you want to get in touch with us.
I know some of you might go to the city, Manhattan, and some of you might have friends who are in that area. We're going to be performing in honor of the centennial and International Women's Day on the eve of March 8th. We'll be at People's West Cafe on the 7th, so I just posted the flyer up there. So if anybody wants a flyer, ask me, I have a few.
Or
extra.
take a picture of it.
Or you can take a picture, that's right.
Modern technology.
Hope you can see okay over there. Oh, good. I'm so happy. Thank you for. How did you like it? Oh, so you, so Ted, Ted. Did you live in the area?
72 years.
I used to have,
At my first gig there, somebody told us
Yeah,
about
that's a
a
beautiful
museum about women's
so I
suffrage.
used to come visit my friends all the time.